have another cold afternoon on our hands with temperatures in the teens and 20s in many locations. Some rounds of sunshine, but cloud cover winds out at least overall for the day. It's not to say it sticks around permanently, though. We do have some improvement on the way in more ways than one. Just not tonight. Single-digit lows in many locations, a couple of teens out there to the west and southwest. But then we start to warm up for the midweek outlook. We'll talk about that and more coming up. Midday in Killoland starts right now.
Live from Killoland Media Group, Midday in Killoland.
The St. Francis House is offering different ways to help out their guests during the holiday season. Plus,
a major reversal by President Biden as he pardons his son Hunter. I'm Natalie Brandt with why he says he did it, plus reaction from an IRS whistleblower involved in the case.
Well, good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Hansen. A Rapid City man admits to asking around 30 underage girls to send him nude pictures on Instagram. And according to a federal court document, the total number could be higher. 21-year-old Kyle Beck plans to plead guilty to attempted enticement of a minor. A factual basis statement says he admits starting around 1,000 conversations online, and most of them were with underage girls. Instagram flagged Beck's account in May of last year and contacted the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That led to an investigation by Rapid City Police. The main investigator was Beck's former school resource officer who was familiar with Beck because he'd gotten in trouble in school for asking girls for inappropriate things, including nude photographs. When he enters his plea, Beck will face 10 years to life in prison. We now know the name of a 29-year-old Marty woman killed in the Thursday morning crash. According to reports, Jerica Zephyr went into a ditch south of Wagner. The car then vaulted over a culvert and rolled. Zephyr was thrown from the car and died of her injuries. Turning now to a first look at your midday forecast with meteorologist Adam Rutt. And I have to say it's beginning to look a lot more like Christmas. You got decorations right in front of you. I've got some in front of me, and that song is playing in my head.
Among probably a slew of others that we're hearing on the radio now. 'Tis the season, may as well look like it now outside, but it might not stick around for very long, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. For now, though, 16 at the start of the lunch hour here in Sioux Falls with a north wind at 13 miles per hour. A mix of sun and clouds up above, but overall, still not a bad-looking afternoon. You just really need to bundle up. Meanwhile, in Aberdeen, 12 with a north wind at 10 miles per hour. We've had a couple of flurries up there on top of what they have already seen up in northeastern portions of Killoland. In fact, they did get a couple of inches of snow up that way. Aberdeen getting around an inch or so. Watertown all total for a snow depth on the ground at 3 inches. They received 2 yesterday. Sisseton got an inch yesterday. So yesterday's system, barring the timing, still cooperated pretty well, all things considered. We just have a few more straggling flurries at the last moment that we're going to have to watch. Yesterday, we did get a little bit of improvement on the thermometer, but we negated that today. We were in the 20s in many locations in eastern and southeastern Killoland. We even got into the 40s toward Rapid City and Pine Ridge. We went from that to this. 15 in Rapid City, 19 for Pine Ridge, 11 in Pierre, 12 Aberdeen, Mitchell, Huron as well as Worthington. Yankton at 17, Faith with 6 above zero. Here's the breeze around 10 miles per hour. So we do have that wind chill near and below zero. It feels like it's minus 10 in Watertown, minus 3 Sisseton and Brookings, a wind chill of 2 above zero, Sioux Falls and Yankton, and it feels like it's minus 1 in Aberdeen. We're not going to get a whole lot of improvement this afternoon. Either side of 20 for a high in southeastern Killoland. Even to the northeast, we'll be stuck firmly in the teens to near 20. Out west is where we may get a little something different. If you're in the southwestern corner of the state, you get some 30s out that way. Otherwise, teens and 20s for just about everybody else. But I did mention a warm-up, and more than one for that matter. We'll talk about that in a little more detail coming up.
Thank you, Adam. Well, the holiday season is a time when many people try to spread joy by giving to others. We talked with the St. Francis House about different ways people can help out around Christmas time. They organize a number of programs, for instance, getting new sweatshirts for all of their guests and collecting toys for parents to give to their children.
We also do Adopt a Family, where we help families get adopted for Christmas. So we have people reach out that want to adopt, as well as people who need to be adopted.
Tonight's Eye on Keloland, Summer Radishat talks more with the St. Francis House and the Salvation Army about different ways people can give back this holiday season. President Biden has changed his mind and decided that his son Hunter will not face jail time after all. The president issued a full and unconditional pardon on behalf of his son. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
President Biden ignored questions from reporters as he arrived in Africa Monday. Hunter Biden's pardon, broad in scope, clears him of all crimes he has committed or may have committed over the years from January 1st, 2014 to December 1st, 2024. It comes as Hunter Biden was set to be sentenced this month and could have faced years in prison after being convicted of felony gun charges and pleading guilty to federal tax fraud. President Biden said in a statement that he believes his son was targeted for political reasons, writing, "No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong." But IRS Special Agent Joseph Ziegler says that's not the case.
This wasn't any different than any other criminal tax case that we work. He knowingly and willfully filed false tax returns, and that's criminal. That's a felony violation.
President Biden's decision is a major reversal of his previous position. He and his administration repeatedly said Hunter Biden would not be pardoned.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
President-elect Donald Trump, who has called the Biden family corrupt, said on social media the pardon was, quote, an abuse and miscarriage of justice. Trump himself granted clemency to his son-in-law Jared Kushner's father, who had pleaded guilty to tax evasion and campaign finance crimes. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Republican Congressman James Comer of Kentucky, who chairs the House Oversight Committee's investigation into President Biden, said on social media that Biden has done everything he can to avoid accountability. Still ahead, with millions expected to shop on Cyber Monday, security experts offer some tips to